Hey there, welcome to the channel. My name is James, and here at 20th and 21st Movies, we are about all things cinema. All right, I hope you're doing well wherever you are as of the time that you are watching this video. I wanted to come on here and share my top five favorite Criterion Collection editions of 2025 so far. So as we sit here at the end of July, as of the time I'm putting this video up, we're past the midpoint of the year. The July 2025 Barnes & Noble 50% off Criterion sale is in the books, it's over, and it's now a good time, for me at least, to do a little bit of an inventory and look at, okay, here are the titles that Criterion has released this year so far. Here are the titles that I have actually seen, which I've seen quite a few this year so far. And of those titles, what are my favorites? What titles sort of rise to the top of my list of favorite titles of the year so far? Now, for those of you who follow this channel, if you followed me for some time, you know that ever since the end of 2020, every year in late December between Christmas and New Year, I put out a video sharing my top 10 Criterion releases of the year. So I've done that since 2020, and I plan to do that at the end of this year as well. And some of the titles that I share here might feature in that top 10 list. So that will encompass the titles of the entire year. But as we sit right now, I'm sharing my video of my top 5 titles of the year so far. So I take into account what I thought about the movie, what I thought about the video quality, how it sounded, the supplements, really the total package is what goes into my thinking of top favorite editions of the year. So I'm going to share some honorable mentions, and then I'm going to share my top 5. And I want to hear in the comment section below, what are your favorites of the year so far? What are the top Criterion editions that sort of rise to the top? What's the cream that rises to the top for you? So I want to hear that in the comment section. So let me start off with some honorable mentions. So I've got 3 honorable mentions, and then I'll share my top 5. And I'm really looking forward to making this a nice discussion, not an argument, just a discussion here on the channel of best editions of the year so far from Criterion. So honorable mention number 1 is a title from director Sean Baker. Sean Baker has put out some pretty interesting films. He is a wonderful independent filmmaker. He recently got a lot of recognition at the Oscars with his picture, Honor winning Best Picture, him winning Best Director, and just a fantastic showing for him. But one of my favorite editions of the year from an honorable mention standpoint is this 2008 film from him called Prince of Broadway. This is a really good edition, folks. I really enjoyed it. Definitely makes my honorable mentions list. And it is a wonderful, wonderful film, wonderful story in New York about this immigrant who is selling goods on the street, so to speak. Not in the most legal of ways, but he is encountered by a lady that he had been in a relationship with and had a baby with, and she basically says, hey, take your son, take care of him. I can't take care of him right now. And it's about him getting to know his son and trying to make it on the streets of New York City. Really, really good piece of independent filmmaking from Sean Baker. Gene Hackman in Night Moves. Really enjoyed this. This is another honorable mention for me. Really enjoyed this film. I love Gene Hackman in everything I've seen him in. He's just one of cinema's greatest actors, and just has been a gift to cinema. Recently passed away, but this is the film by Arthur Penn, 1970s. Melanie Griffith appears in this in a very early role for her. I believe she was a teenager at the time this film came out in 1975. But this is a really good movie. It comes in at 100 minutes. It's available on 4K Night Moves. And then Charles Chaplin, in a film that he directed but did not star in. He showcased actress Edna Purviance in this film, A Woman of Paris from 1923. This is a silent film. Really enjoyed this movie. Has some really nice special features. This is an excellent edition from Criterion. I think it's one of the best of the year so far, and that's why it makes my honorable mentions list. So definitely recommend A Woman of Paris. If you like silent films, if you like Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, if you like that type of thing, definitely consider A Woman of Paris. It's from 1923, and it's really, really good. And it looks good on Blu-ray. I mean, just a beautiful restoration. It's a new 4K digital restoration of the 1976 re-release version. And it just looks phenomenal. It's a film from 1923, folks. You're talking about a film that's over 100 years old, and it looks really good on Blu-ray. So definitely makes my honorable mentions list, which now I'm going to lean in a little bit closer. We're going to get down to the top 5. So these are my top 5. I will show them right here, and I'll go through them one by one. These are my top 5 Criterion Collection releases of 2025 so far, and I'm going to go through these in no particular order. So it's not a countdown from 5 to 1. When I do my top 10 video at the end of this year, I will do a countdown from 10 to 1, and I will share my favorite release of the year. But right now I'm just sharing these are the titles that are in my top 5. I don't have a particular order because I didn't feel like putting them in order. I didn't want to, and I typically don't in this top 5 mid-year video. So the first title that comes in my top 5 is a film starring James Stewart, directed by Anthony Mann. It's a 4K of a beautiful Western called Winchester 73. Really enjoyed this one. This is from 1950, and I believe it's the first collaboration between James Stewart and Anthony Mann. They did, I believe, 5 together, and I think this might be the first one. I don't remember. But yeah, fantastic film. Got it on this 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray combo. Just absolutely fantastic. I think actually all of my top 5 are 4K editions, but yeah, this is James Stewart in Winchester 73. Love this film, so good. One of the best Westerns out there. Highly recommended. This is a biopic type film, not a biopic. It's semi-autobiographical film directed by Richard Pryor. This is his only directorial credit, and it's a film from 1986. It is called JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling. This film is wonderful. This was a delight and a treat to see this film on 4K. I was stunned when Criterion announced this title and very excited. And this is one of the best releases of the year in my book. This movie looks so good on 4K. It is such a wonderful film in Richard Pryor's filmography. If you're not familiar with this film, definitely check it out. If you're a fan of Richard Pryor, if you like, like autobiographical looks at an artist's life, definitely consider checking this one out. It's highly recommended. JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling. Has some funny elements in it. Of course, this is a Richard Pryor film and is his directorial credit. So JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling, super good stuff. And again, it looks amazing on 4K. I was very happy revisiting that film. This is the title that right now, if I had to say what's the best release of the year from Criterion so far, even though I'm not doing a countdown from 5 to 1, I will go ahead and tell you that I believe that Sorcerer is so far very likely the best release from Criterion this year so far. This is a film from William Friedkin from 1971. It's on 4K Ultra HD. Comes in at 121 minutes. This is a film that is based upon the Wages of Fear novel. That same novel was the basis of the Henri Georges Clouzot book from film from the 1950s, The Wages of Fear, which is also in the collection on 4K. I had the Blu-ray of that. I actually got the 4K of that film from BFI. So I did the upgrade through BFI on that. But I got Sorcerer as part of the Barnes & Noble sale on 4K Ultra HD, and this edition rocks. I mean, it looks amazing on 4K. The features are fantastic. You hear from William Friedkin. This is one of the best packages overall of the year so far from the Criterion Collection, and I am so glad that I got Sorcerer on 4K Ultra HD. Just check out this digipack. Check it out. Fantastic. You get the 4K disc right here. You get 2 Blu-ray discs. You get some killer special features that I highly recommend going through. You learn so much from William Friedkin about his trials and tribulations at the time. I mean, he had just come off of two highly successful films. He was on the mountaintop in Hollywood. He did The French Connection. He did The Exorcist. I mean, he could do anything he wanted at that time. And then when he put this film out, this film did not do very well. It was critically, it met with a lot of criticism. And it was a time when the industry was kind of pushing back at him and telling him, hey, this film didn't work out. And he had to reckon with that. And it wasn't until later that this film got more and more positive recognition. And it's now available on this 4K edition from Criterion. And I think it's one of, if not the best edition of the year so far from the Criterion Collection, Sorcerer 4K. 1977 film from William Friedkin starring Roy Scheider of Jaws fame. All right, 3 down, 2 to go in my top 5s of the year so far. This is a noir classic that I am so glad I had a chance to watch, starring Glenn Ford, Gloria Graham from Fritz Lang, 1953, available on 4K Ultra HD. It is The Big Heat. Amazing, amazing noir. Really enjoyed this one. Excellent addition from Criterion and one of the best noirs out there right now. You open it up, check this out. Isn't that fantastic? Look at that. See Glenn Ford giving the business in The Big Heat. I think his performance in this film was really powerful. You see his character, you see different aspects of his character over time. I did a review of this title on this channel, so definitely check that out. I also did a review, I reviewed all of these top 5. So I just realized that. But yeah, definitely check out The Big Heat for sure. And then the last title in my top 5 is a film from Charles Burnett. This is a film that was introduced to me by Robert Bellissimo from Robert Bellissimo at the Movies last year, and we did a talk on his channel about it. And this is a film from 1977 called Killer of Sheep. So this is the 4K edition of this film. Love that you open it up here. You see the little pamphlet here saying KOS for Killer of Sheep. This film was basically Charles Burnett's his 1970s UCLA thesis film. And it is a groundbreaking piece of American independent filmmaking. Wonderful film that shows life in Watts, Los Angeles for this Black family, their struggles, their trials and tribulations, really led by the actor, Henry Gale Sayers plays Stan. My memory is not what it used to be. But yeah, Henry Gale Sayers played Stan in this film. He is a father and a husband leading his family. He works in a slaughterhouse, and that's why it's called Killer of Sheep. But it just talks about their family and their struggles and just trying to make it in life. So just really good stuff. But yeah, I have reviewed all 5 of these titles on this channel. So definitely check out my reviews of Winchester 73, JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling, Sorcerer, The Big Heat, Killer of Sheep, all available on 4K Ultra HD. These are my top 5 favorite editions from Criterion of 2025 so far. Let me know in the comments section below, what are your top 5 favorites of the year? What are your favorite editions in general from Criterion this year so far? Let me know that in the comment section below, and let me know also what titles are you enjoying coming off of the Criterion Collection sale. What are the titles that you picked up? What are the titles that you're enjoying the most? And what are your favorites of the year from Criterion so far? Let me know all that in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time at the movies. Peace.